Are all your questions ready? Shall I collect them?
If you will, please.
Why, Ada, how lovely. How did you ever get the great Lagarge to appear?
I was one of the first in town to recognize his genius.
How lovely. Nosy.
Are you going for this gag, too?
You newspaper men are so cynical about everything that doesn't come out of your own typewriters.
Well, I'm not a newspaper man now. I'm the escort of the most gorgeous creature here.
Martha?
Oh, thank you.
Elliot? No?
And now, will someone kindly assist me for a moment?
Isn't he handsome?
And so charming.
You?
Who is this amazing person? I've never heard of him before.
Never heard of the great Lagarge? Why, everyone goes to him.
Is that so?
Just drop them in.
Well, they'll burn.
Yes. You first. Will you take your answer, please?
Yes.
And the rest of you, please.
Well, did the miracle come to pass? Did it answer your question?
In a general way, yes. But Elliot, look. This is my mother's handwriting. And, well, she's been dead for nearly a year.
Your mother's writing? But that's impossible.
Oh, yes, of course it's impossible, but that's exactly like Mother's writing.
It's the most astounding thing I've ever seen.
Shh.
My friends, I can see that this demonstration has startled and mystified most of you. But I sense that one or two are prone to criticize it as trickery. The same criticism has been applied to practically all branches of science, and to many principles of advanced thought at their inception. One of our commonest daily necessities is an unseen power that none of us actually understands. It is electricity. It is in the air, all about us. Science discovered how to use this unseen power, but what it really is continues to be a mystery. In the scheme of life, it is not meant that all men should understand all things, and that all men should be gifted in the same way. But there are a chosen few empowered to act as mediums for those who live in the world beyond, spirits, earnestly desiring to communicate their knowledge and help. For in this plane of existence, many things are hidden from us that to those who dwell in the world beyond are as clear as the sun's shining rays. All our problems, our innermost thoughts, are as an open book. For instance, you, Mr. Hall, The question that you wrote was not the problem that you really wanted to know about. And that question, Mr. Hall, I will answer by suggesting that you put all such thoughts from your mind. And you, Miss Stevens, the question that is worrying you is very serious. A family crisis. My advice is to go ahead. File your claim for the estate individually. Disregard family influence.
I'll get your hat. You were simply amazing.
Thank you, Mrs. Bernard.
Ada.
Ada.
That's right. But you should visit his temple. They say he talks with the dead.
What?
Don't ask me how it's done. I just insist it's a trick and let it go at that. I saw the same thing in Vaudeville, but there it was entertainment.
I suppose so. But that answer to my question in Mother's handwriting, makes one think, doesn't it?
And if any of your guests invest, remember I give advice on the stock market.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell them. Tomorrow.
I have another one of these supernatural affairs to cover tomorrow night, Martha. If you're interested, come on along.
They give me a queer feeling.
But this is something worthwhile. Madame Houdini is going to try to contact her dead husband, the great Harry Houdini. You know, he promised to contact her within 10 years' time through a certain code, if such a thing were possible.
Yes, I remember reading something about it.
Tomorrow will mark the 10th anniversary of his death, and it'll be Madame Houdini's final attempt to communicate with him. Better come along.
No thanks, Elliot. You know I don't go out very much. I wouldn't have come here this afternoon, but Ada insisted so.
All right, Martha, but this seance of Madame Houdini's will be on the level.
Good evening, madame. I'm glad to see you back, madame. I could hardly wait. Was the seance a success?
Mary,
Yes, madame.
there will be no more seances, Mary.
Oh, I'm so sorry that they've proven a failure.
But they haven't. Not exactly. Mary, you knew my husband a long time.
Oh, yes, madame.
And you remember what he always said about these things?
That it was impossible for the dead to return.
This proves he was right. For if it would have been possible, I would have had some sign from him in the past 10 years. Well, that is over. But I would have loved to have talked with him just once.
Unfortunate, Wilson, most unfortunate.
Say, who do you think started all this rumpus?
Madame Houdini and her statements, no doubt.
Boy, those cops sure are getting around. Say, ain't you a little bit uneasy?
Why should the great Lagarge be uneasy because the police have arrested a few fakers?
Well, I just thought.
Don't think. We fixed the wires yet?
I'm working on them now.
Master, 2 women are approaching. Master, 2 women approach the temple. Be ready.
Sarah, how can you believe in these supernatural things?
Because I want to believe it.
You're only fooling yourself.
On the contrary, I'm helping myself. And I want to believe that the great Lagarge will bring me in contact with my late husband. I'd give anything just to talk to him once and have him smile at me.
The mystic moment has arrived. Keep your husband's image before you.
I am!
And now, supreme power, in thy infinite mercy, send down the spirit of Edward Coulter, husband of Sarah.
Sarah, I am here to aid your tortured mind.
Is she?
I'm afraid so.
You killed her. That's what you've done. First you robbed her of all her money, and now you...
The doctor. Hustle around. Get everything picked up. Then phone the doctor and then phone the police.
The police? With me on parole? Why, they'll grab me and...
Now. Don't get all worked up. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Listen, boss, I appreciate your getting me out of jail and all that, but a rat like this in the same house...
Quiet. I know what I'm doing. I tell you, there's nothing to worry about. This woman died of heart failure.
Inspector Burt speaking. Oh, coroner's office? Okay. Dead, huh? Thanks, Doc. Oh, hello, Elliot. Say, I just got a report that a woman's been found dead in a fortune-telling temple run by a fellow named the Great Lagarge.
Lagarge! Say, that's the fellow I was telling you about. Wait, I've got a picture of him here I dug up out of the files.
Well, let's have it.
That's the Great Lagarge, all right. Only here he calls himself the Great Gardner.
Say, that's interesting. Very interesting. I think I'll go over and have a talk with this bird on general principles. Want to come along?
Do I? You bet.
Hello, Joe. Where's Lagarge?
Lagarge, I don't know how safe you think you are with your society connections, but you'd better cut out this psychic racket and get out of town, providing you get out of this jam.
Tom, I just stumbled on that story of the woman who was found dead in Lagarge's temple. Better give me a rewrite, man, and hold the phone. Yes, Mr. Lagarge?
No.
Hello, rewrite? Here's the dope.
Lagarge, you better come down to earth, because I'm going to keep on your tail from now on, and the first false step you make, look out.
Yeah? Yeah? That's all for the present, Tom.
I'll have one of the other boys pick up the rest at headquarters. Oh, by the way, what have you done about that Martha Morgan story?
Look, Tom, be a pal and put somebody else on it, will you?
Get on it right away.
Oh, all right.
Let's go, come on. All right, Joe, take him away. Help me?
Yes. Say, Bert, mind swinging around Woodworth Drive and dropping me off at 7:20?
Sure. Say, Woodward Drive, that's a pretty swell neighborhood for a reporter to be mussing up.
Yeah, mussing up is right. I've got to do one of those private life yarns and a girl I'm crazy about.
Yes, you should feel guilty staying away so long.
Well, I meant to drop in before, Martha, but...
And now you're sorry you came.
Yes. Oh, no, I mean, I had to this time on business.
Business?
For the paper.
Oh, yes, I see. I refuse to see a couple of reporters, but if your old paper's determined to print an interview with me, well, I'd rather it was an old friend like you who wrote it. At least I can be sure it's in good taste.
Oh, it's just a routine thing that balmy city editor's gotten into his head. I'll just do a little personal story on you that'll kill off the assignment, and he'll forget it.
Oh, that's fine. Well, we can sit down, you know, or can't you ask questions sitting down?
Say, this is pretty deep stuff for a young girl.
Well, one has to read something. I've become rather interested in this subject lately. Go ahead, interview. Hello. Hello, is this the Sun News? I want to speak to Mr. Elliot Cole. Will you please have him call me when he comes in? Yes, this is Miss Martha Morgan.
Wilson. Wilson.
So you beat the rat?
Of course, stupid bunglers.
Well, I'm sure glad it's over. I was expecting to be dragged to the jug any minute.
I told you not to worry.
Well, I turn in a harmless little story about Martha Morgan, and that fat-headed city editor has someone blow it up till it looks like an expose of a criminal. Of all the dirty tricks.
Say, I know this girl. Met her someplace. Let's see. Ada's party, of course. She's the girl that burned the questions for me. $1 million. And she's worried about her mother's death. Well, what more could the great Lagarge want? A chance of a lifetime.
Boy, she sure is a pip. I could fall for her if she didn't have a thin dime.
Wilson, always remember one thing. Never fall in love with your victim.
Oh, I see. It's okay to have him fall in love with you.
Exactly. That's good business.
Yeah, but how are you going to get at this dame?
Through Ada, of course. Miss Morgan doesn't know it, but she's going to be relieved of all of her worries. And a big slice of that $1 million.
Any part of it sounds good to me. But what if Ada flops on us?
She's in love with me.
Yeah, she sure is. And when you add love to this racket, boy, you got something.
Right. I'll simply convince Ada that it's her duty to bring this girl to me. Oh, by the way, I want you to get me newspaper file copies of her mother's death so that I can post myself on a few points.
Master, the place is being watched. 2 men have been looking the house over. They are now in the car that is parked across the street.
Well, what?
Oh, forget it. That's one of Inspector Burke's bright ideas. This setup can't miss.
Martha, dear, why do you grieve so?
How can I help it? I'm so unhappy.
But you'll be ill, child. Day after day you come here brooding. Why, you're making yourself suffer.
I should suffer. I deserve it.
Oh, you speak as though you held yourself responsible for your mother's death. You weren't even here.
That's just it. While she was dying, I was selfishly enjoying myself abroad.
But you didn't know.
I should have known. I should have been here with her.
Oh, my dear, you must find peace of mind. Come on, let's sit down. My dear, there's a way you can let your mother know how you feel. The dead can be reached, you know.
I'm afraid I can't quite believe that.
It's true. I know. The voice of my dead son was brought to me.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've never believed in anything like that.
I too doubted until I was brought face to face with the truth by a great master.
A master?
I believe in the master spirit, the great Lagarge. He has produced the voices of angels. He's talked with departed spirits. I'm afraid you're doomed to suffer. I came here to comfort you in your scoff. Have you no faith, Martha?
Sorry, Ada. I didn't mean to be rude, but it's also amazing.
If you seek the forgiveness of your mother,
I'd spend the last cent of my fortune, rest of my life to receive it. Do you really think he could put me in contact with Mother?
I'm sure of it.
Oh, that would be wonderful. But this great man, this,
Lagarge.
Yes. Oh, wasn't he the man at your party?
Yes, he came as a special.
Yes, I remember him. He was very clever.
Oh, the things he did that day were just rudimentary. But you should see him in his temple, when he surrenders himself to spiritual communication.
Yes, I'd like to.
Divine knowledge, is there another with whom thou wouldst communicate? Is there another? Is there another? There is one. M-A-R. 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 M-A-R.
What does it all mean?
Shh. The spirits are displeased. There is one among you who is still beclouded with earthly convictions. Go and prepare your mind for peace and faith.
I don't believe what Madame Houdini says about him.
I think he's
Wonderful, impressive.
May I come Tuesday?
Phone for your appointments. Phone for your appointments.
Do you think she took the bait?
She did.
I hope so. But it's risky with so much at stake. I think you should have gone right after her.
Wilson, you still have much to learn. Particularly this. Influence your subjects into selling themselves on your game. After that, it's a cinch.
You'll feel better when you have a good confidential talk with the master. Oh, master, may I present Miss Morgan?
I am very proud to have you here.
Oh, it was very interesting. Really, I've never seen such wonderful...
Please, don't compliment me. I am merely charming as always.
Oh, thank you. Martha's so anxious to speak to you alone. I'll be in the car, dear.
Doesn't my name mean anything to you?
Morgan?
No, my first name, Martha.
It's a very nice name, of course. A famous name, denoting character.
But don't you remember, the spirit wanted to establish contact with someone whose name began with M-A-R. But don't you see, my name begins with M-A-R.
Probably a coincidence. That is, unless you have lost someone who was very dear to you.
That's it, I have. My mother.
Oh. Now I understand. There is no closer spiritual bond than that between mother and daughter.
I'm sure it was she, trying to convey to me the one thing in the world I want to know. Can't we try again soon?
Yes, we can. I would be unworthy of my sacred trust if I weren't anxious to establish communication between you. Tonight, we shall make another attempt.
Until tonight, then.
$1 million.
Oh, Martha, I've got to talk to you.
There's nothing you could say that would be of any interest to me.
But there is, Martha. If you'll only listen to me,
Well?
It's about your going to this Lagarge.
How do you know where I go? Oh, is this some more of your newspaper antics, snooping?
But I couldn't help but know, Martha. You see, Inspector Burke is having this Lagarge's place watched, and, well, I was in his office when one of the detectives phoned in his report.
I still don't see how this interests you.
But it does. Anything that concerns you interests me. But you've got to listen to me. Well, I know how you must feel because of that story, and in a way I can't blame you. But just the same, I'm not going to stand by like a dummy and watch you fall into the hands of a crook like Lagarge. Not if I can help it.
Why did you to say things like that about him?
He's a phony, a faker. I can see right through him.
And what you can see, apparently, is the change in yourself. You're becoming a scandal monger.
Oh, I told you he was nothing but a cheap trickster the first time I saw him.
And you also told me you were going to print a harmless little squib about me. Oh, yes, I take your word on anything.
But you wouldn't let me explain.
Been ashamed to go out on the streets ever since. All I ask you to do is to quit meddling in my affairs. Mind your own business.
All right, now mind some of yours, too, seeing that you're incapable of taking care of yourself. But can't you do a thing? You know Lagarge is crooked.
Yes, and I also know that Martha Morgan is of age. And until something occurs to justify a warrant on him, I'm powerless to act.
Okay, I'll get you a warrant.
On what charge?
What difference does it make? All you want's a warrant, isn't it?
That's all.
Then sit tight. I'll get it.
Say, what have you done to Elliot Cole?
Yeah, nothing.
Well, he's trying to get out a warrant for you.
For me?
Nobody else but. He's tried in several complaint departments.
On, what grounds?
None, apparently. That's why he's failed so far.
What is preposterous? Why should he do this?
I'll bite. Why? I thought maybe you'd know. Well, anyway, I wanted to tip you off.
Thanks, Rankin. Wilson!
Yeah?
Come out here.
Well, we're all set. Plenty of time for that Morgan dame to get here, ain't it?
Wilson, we're leaving.
Leaving here? Before the seance? Well, I've got everything all fixed.
But as soon afterwards as possible. Get our things together for a quick move. Oh, if I only had more time.
Oh, what's that?
Just another day or two. Time to... I've got it. The very idea.
Well, you're right on the minute. Here she is now.
Repeat after me. I believe. I believe.
I believe. I believe.
I believe the great Lagarge will bring back the spirit of my mother.
I believe.
Bless you, my child. Drink from the chalice of faith. I have had a vision. The spirit of Isis directs that you make the journey to Egypt.
Egypt?
There in the shadow of the Sphinx, a desert oracle awaits you.
To Egypt? Alone?
No. The good sister Ada Bernard will go with you. It is imperative that no time be lost. A spell is cast to bring your mother to you.
I'll give up everything and go with you.
And I am ready to go.
The spirits are pleased. Here is a handful of dust. The dried remains of a mummified god. Scatter it to the four winds in the middle of the sea. It will bring you safe journey and keep my spirit ever at thy side. Peace be with you.
Sir Kane yet?
Yes, he's inside.
Well, there's your warrant for Lagarge.
Well, who issued it?
Judge Adams, an old family friend of mine. I was laying for him when he got caught this morning.
Say, what is this? Obtaining money under false pretenses?
Sure, from that woman who died in his temple. Say, with this, we can hold him for investigation, can't we?
Indefinitely.
Well, let's get at it then. Hey! Hey, is anybody here? like taking the air.
Well, let's look around, huh?
You go ahead. I've got to call Martha.
Okay.
What? What? Look around again. She must have left some clue as to where she was going. What? Oh, you don't, eh? All right, thanks. Martha's maid said she pulled out last night. Doesn't know where she went.
Say, that looks bad.
Yeah, he must have a terrible hold on her, getting her to run out like this.
Well, I wonder what scared him off.
Yeah, he wasn't too scared to think of Martha's money. But I'm going to find him. And when I get my hands on that crook...
And get that to Martha Morgan without her seeing you.
But neither of them have ever seen me.
That's not it. They must have no idea how that note reaches them.
Oh, I get it.
Been a soul around. Look, it's his handwriting. The master's.
My dear one, please feel I am at your side always. Now, how in the world? The writing.
It's disappearing.
It's gone. Oh, Ada!
You must expect strange and mysterious manifestations when you're under the guidance of the great Lagarge.
It gives me a new courage.
I know. For a long time I've felt that he's always near me. Guiding. Comforting me.
And that's the way I want it to be with me. I've burned all my bridges, but I've no regrets. It leaves my mind and soul free. Free to follow and embrace his teachings.
That's the only way you can get any benefit from his great powers.
If he succeeds in bringing my mother's spirit to me, I shall love him with all my soul.
Love him? Oh, of course you mean in a spiritual way.
Why, yes, of course. I do not think of him as being earthly at all.
He is the greatest force that has ever come into my life. Always willing to help. Just as he told you in the note. Give it to me, Martha.
My darling, I gave it to you.
To me?
Why, it's gone. Ada, it's disappeared. Like the writing. The message remains. Oh, Ada, I'm looking forward so to Egypt.
No sign of him.
Did you leave instructions for getting here?
In a good old mysterious fashion.
I wonder what's keeping them.
Oh, it's a shame you haven't really got the power to know these things.
Take another look outside.
Oh, it's hot running in and out in this getup. Well, here they come.
Stop that whistling.
It's bad luck.
Oh, bunk.
That sea voyage certainly made a change in you.
It sure did. The further I get from that parole board, the better I feel. Boy, am I itching to get my hands on that $1 million.
From now on, I'm making a definite play for the money. Now, I want you to...
Here they come.
Fine. Wait. Bring Martha in alone. Keep the other one outside.
Thou hast come east to see the great prophet.
The spirit of Master Lagarge has sent us.
The prophet within bears a message for Martha Morgan.
I'm Martha Morgan.
Thou wilt enter. Thou wilt wait here.
The sacred spirits greet thee.
The great Lagarge has sent me to you.
I know. It has all been conveyed to me. Come closer, my child. Here beside me.
How strange.
What troubles thee?
For a second I thought I heard the voice of Lagarge speaking.
He is speaking in thy soul.
Oh. Why, that's the same ring that the great Lagarge wears.
Yes, the sacred beetle, to be used in invoking the spirits to bring thy mother.
When may I enter, please?
Anon, good friend, anon.
I see in the crystal it is ordained thou donate a portion of thy fortune to build a temple here in the desert in glorification of the goddess Isis.
To aid in bringing my mother to me?
Yes, my child.
I am ready to do whatever you decree.
It is well. Come, beautiful child. Walk with me to the site of the future temple of Isis. At the sacred tomb of Isis, I will tell thee of the mystery of life beyond the grave.
Yes.
And the book of the dead shall open to us.
Yes.
And then tonight, thou wilt be permitted to gaze beyond the veil that has obscured thy mother from thee.
Tonight?
Yes. Tonight we contact the great beyond. Thou wilt come prepared to bring thy earthly sacrifice to the glory of the goddess Isis.
Oh, the money, yes.
Are you sure?
Saw her take the money out of the bank.
Ah, then she will bring it tonight.
You should have asked for more than 25 grand.
That's enough to begin with. Out here a few weeks and I'll have her dumping money in my lap as fast as she can cable for it.
Don't be too sure.
Huh?
Little pal Elliot Cole is in town.
What? Elliot Cole?
And he's trying to kick down Martha's door to get a word with her.
Has he seen her? I mean, talk to her?
Not yet.
You know what this means?
Another move?
I'm afraid so. Poor Martha. She must be worried sick having that pest show up here.
Poor Martha. Say, have you fallen for this dame?
How dare you ask me such a question? You're forgetting your place.
Yeah, I know all that, Huey. I was in the pen and you had me paroled, but I made it up to you. And you're not going to throw the best deal we ever had by trying to marry Martha Morgan.
That would give me full control of her fortune, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you. Where'd I be? Out on a limb.
So you're not in love with her yourself, are you?
We're after the dough, both of us.
Well, I'm running this affair.
Yeah, and you'll run it on the level.
You don't trust me, huh?
I'm just handing you back the same advice you gave me. Never fall in love with your victim.
Wilson, you amuse me. It's Martha's money I'm after. I'm not in love with her.
I hope not. $1 million don't grow on trees.
Now, let's be sensible. There's nothing to get all worked up about.
No? You seem to have forgotten Madam Houdini and Inspector Burke back in the States. Elliot Cole right here on your doorstep. And don't overlook your forgotten flame, Ada Barnard.
Mere trifles.
A mere trifle I forgot was what landed me in the cooler the first time.
Shh. Everything's been all right so far, hasn't it? Just carry on and leave everything to me.
This is my companion, another disciple of the great Lagarge.
Advance, my child. May peace be on thy soul. Prayer shawls for the worthies. Kneel and bow thine heads.
You were so like the great Lagarge.
I was in psychic communication with him this evening. He mentioned thee. Thy name is Ada Barnard.
Yes.
Why dost thou stare so? Is the resemblance of one holy prophet to another so strange?
Well, just now as I touched your hand, it was though...
Lagarge is so much a part of thy life that his image is ever before thee.
Yes. I guess that explains it.
O spirit of Isis, a humble offer been given by Martha Morgan for a temple to perpetuate thy glory. Let the pit of fire be made ready. While the fire of faith is being prepared, let us indulge in silent prayer. I shall walk through the flames in order to bring this girl's mother to her. Children, pray for me, assist me in my trials. Oh, Holy Spirit of heavenly fire, I come to thee. If I am unworthy, destroy me. Fire, I dwell within thee and thee within me. But I do not feel thy searing flames. The fire of life has burned me clean. Therefore I implore thee to bring to this child the spirit of her mother. Spirit of Martha Morgan's mother, I command thee, appear! Appear! Appear!
There is an evil influence obstructing me. A scoffer, an unbeliever.
That unbeliever is Elliot Cole.
Yes, it is Elliot. He claims that all psychic manifestations are fraudulent.
I see him now. He is here in Egypt.
Yes, he's here.
Thou must flee from him. Wait. The crystal tells me that thou must make the journey to the Ganges River in India.
To India, the Ganges.
Thou must go secretly and alone.
Alone?
If thy humble servant may suggest.
Speak.
I shall conduct these worthy children safely on their journey.
Thou art a good servant. Thou wilt conduct them to the prayer house of the holy prophet of the Ganges.
A very wise decision, most holy one.
Martha, on thy journey, keep the great Lagarge ever in thy mind. He always loves thee and will always protect thee. Depart.
Close to the temple.
Oh, the temple. There it is, and just 2 doors beyond is your hotel. And don't forget to say that Tommy sent you. You're pilgrims, eh?
I will see thee safely quartered and call for thee in the morning.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Well, how is she? I thought maybe you would have brought her here first before...
Oh, you're never satisfied. What do you want me to do, drag them all over India in this fog? They ain't no way to find us in the morning. Got anything to eat? I'm starved.
I have some fruit.
Okay, get it.
Tell me, did she stand the trip well?
Trip was all right. We had a swell time getting out of Giza, away from that Elliot Cole. He's worse than losing a cop.
What happened?
Well, he found out we were leaving, and he almost tore the place apart.
Yes.
Well, I framed him, and the native police threw him in the cooler.
Good. Let's hope they keep him there.
That's a great makeup.
Answer that. Yes, my child. What brings you to my temple in the middle of the night?
I'm sick of mind. My heart is heavy. May I see you alone? I can't sleep until I talk with you.
What trouble?
He's the one who directed us here, seeking contact with Martha Morgan's mother.
Yes?
I worship Lagarge.
Yes?
It's been so long since I stood in his presence. The need of him and his touch fills every moment of my life.
I see. What would you have me do?
Look into the crystal. See him. If possible, let me see him. Talk with him.
It is late. I am tired. But I shall hold a brief communion with him.
Tell him that I long for him. Ask him to give some sign that perhaps he too... Oh, please, I beg of you, let me talk to him. Tell him...
I see him now. He is weary in spirit. Wait. He is sending a message to me. He is coming here. He will arrive shortly.
Tell him I'm waiting. Waiting.
Silence.
Oh, please. Tell him that I love him.
Too bad. Too bad. The contact is broken.
Oh, no, no. No, it can't be. Oh, please don't let him go.
That is enough. Go. Peace be with you.
Oh, please.
Good night. Come to me with Martha tomorrow.
Well, Mastermind, look into the crystal and find out what that gal is thinking.
It's obvious she's having one of her love spells.
Yeah, but is she wise to you and your trick makeups? That's the question.
But if I thought for $5 in rupees, I could have her chucked into the Ganges.
The old story. Off with the old and on with the new.
It's what Martha thinks or knows that concerns me. She's the one I must mold into a proper receptive spirit. And the festival ought to accomplish that.
Well, anyway, Ada's coming here gave you a chance to plant the idea that you're about to break in here as the great Lagarge.
Yes, I think I'll use the block of ice trick.
The ice trick?
Yes, the one I used on the old dame in Chicago when I got the 10 grand. I told you about that.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that the Ganges originated in the glacial period gives me a swell chance to play it up. I'll encase myself in a block of ice, and then before their eyes, I shall pass from the holy prophet of the Ganges to the great Lagarge in the flesh.
That sounds swell.
It has never failed.
What do I do?
Just this.
Hey, soldier, where can a fella get quarters for the night?
2 doors beyond the temple. And don't forget to say that Tommy sent you.
Thanks, soldier.
Morgan and the Holy Prophet around?
Why, no. They left on a pilgrimage to the Ganges. I thought that you...
Yes, and I thought I was going with them. Miss Morgan must have arisen before daybreak.
He will surely return with her this evening for the transmigration ceremony.
Very well. I'll be back then.
All roads lead to the Ganges. The river eternal, the river of life. Fear. For 40 years he has gazed at the sun in worship.
frightens me so.
Calm thyself. Fear not these holy men.
Ganges bathers.
Washing their sins away. Washing away doubt. Bringing belief and faith to their souls.
Such faith. Believe as these worshippers do is wonderful.
Believe. Have faith. Procession of the dead. Great things are done in the name of the dead. Greater in the name of living love.
Take me away. Take me away.
Fainted, eh?
Yes. Yes.
Come on, pull yourself together. Rest, O holy prophet. I will escort the child to her quarters.
Yes. Bring her back this evening. I must prepare for the transmigration ceremony.
Oh, it's you.
How did you get here?
Bit of a surprise, isn't it? After your cleverness in Egypt. Are you in on this racket, too? Is that why you blocked my seeing Martha in Gizeh?
Why, certainly not. I regret the whole thing now. I'm sorry you didn't take Martha away then.
Just a little bit late with all that, aren't you?
Did you see Martha come out of that building just now?
Yeah, some kind of a temple, isn't it?
Yes. And I have every reason to believe that the prophet is none other than Lagarge.
Lagarge?
Yes, I'm almost sure of it. Why don't you get Martha away from here? Take her home. By force, if necessary.
I will. But I want a word with that crook first.
Oh, no, wait a minute. It was just my jealousy speaking. It isn't Lagarge, really.
No?
No.
Well, I'll just make sure.
Oh, please.
Whom do you seek?
You should know. A prophet with your power?
You are in the wrong prayer house. Perhaps a bit upset. These holy festival days are trying.
Look at me, you charlatan. You know who I am.
Calm yourself, my son. What is your trouble?
My trouble is you. You or your fakery. Lagarge, I knew it. The great Lagarge.
Listen to me.
Oh, no, you listen to me.
What if I am Lagarge? Do you think I'm going to let you get away now?
And how are you going to stop me?
You'll take the next boat out of here, or I'll have you thrown to the Hindus as a sin eater. Do you know what a sin eater is? It's a person that eats the food left for the dead. One word from me and those Hindus will be on you like a flock of wolves.
You haven't the power to get yourself out of a paper bag.
Master.
Oh, master, I brought the pilgrims.
Something wrong?
Why, something has happened.
But what? Something has happened to the master?
No, no.
Lagarge! Lagarge!
I have come. The transmigration has taken place.
A miracle, master. We've missed you. Longed for you.
Martha, the desire of your heart shall be fulfilled. I will bring you tonight. Temple bells announce the hour of midnight. And now turn to your quarters. I must be alone to prepare for the flight into the other world. Worthy servant, you will see them safely to their quarters.
Well, you just about gummed up the show.
Don't stop heckling me. I'm half crazy as it is.
Well, what happened?
That nitwit Cole burst in here.
So?
Tore off my wig, started to fight.
Oh, and you pulled the ice trick on him.
Well, I had to finish him some way. He'd have ruined everything.
What have you done with him?
Wrapped the ice block in canvas. And paid a couple of Hindus to throw it into the Ganges.
That means you've drowned him. Sure, he was alive in there.
What?
Yeah. I had the device fixed with the oxygen pipe feeding air into the ice chamber. It was rigged for your transmigration trick. Now, when the ice cake melts, he drowns.
Well, he's out of the way.
You stuck your head into the hangman's noose if the body should happen to be found. So we'd better move fast.
Yeah, you're right. We must get out of here.
Forget your play for this dame and get the money.
All you think of.
What do you think I'm in this racket for? To learn how to sing hallelujah?
You'll get the money.
You bet I will. I want the money. If you're sucker enough to keep after this dame, go ahead. It's essential wind up behind the 8 ball.
I want her money, but I want her, too. So get ready for the seance. I've got to think. Oh, sacred guardian of the gates of the great beyond, your most worthy servant invokes your aid. O Spirit of the Angel of Light, accept from me any sacrifice to bring the light of happiness to the heart of Martha Morgan. Make some sign. Make some sign. We are grateful. Please bring the good Mother Morgan to her daughter.
Please, Mother. Let me see you just once. Let me know you're happy. Please, just let me see your face. See you smile.
Oh, Martha, I join you in pleading. I am willing to give up everything, anything to bring this happiness to you. Speak, Mother Morgan. Are you happy?
I am happy, daughter, but will be happier when you dispose of half your worldly goods to the friends who have brought me to you.
We are so happy, Mother. We love and will protect. Why, well, what's the meaning of this?
I'll tell you, you fraud, you faker. The next time you want to dispose of a body in the river, make sure it's dead.
Oh, what a fool I've been. How could you? just for my money. With all your boasted powers, you didn't know my mother was born mute. She was never able to speak.
Let's get out of here.
To think I was hypnotized into believing you were a god. You were scheming, unprincipled fraud.
I am a fraud. I admit it. I'm ashamed of it. All are frauds who claim to speak to the dead or possess themselves of supernatural powers. But Martha, I love you. I know I'm not worthy.
Come on, Martha.
Martha! Martha! Martha!
Master, you don't know what you're saying. I've always loved you. Oh.
Wilson, what are you doing in that money?
What do you think?
It belongs to Martha, and I'll kill you if you touch a penny of it.
You and who else?
Stop! Stop.
It's going to be a fine night, isn't it? Yes, everything's going to be swell.
Well, there's a couple of citizens we can do without.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. and Mrs. Cole can do without them, all right.
Madam Houdini, I've heard such a lot about you.